We also need to make sure that we protect this thing called borrowing capacity, which is essentially how much money the banks will lend us. And this is another really key lesson that I learned about not going into liabilities before buying assets. Because essentially you go to a bank and you get a credit card, for example, or you go and get a car loan and go and buy that new car, or you go and get a loan to go on that holiday. All of those things are classed as liabilities because they don't put money in your pocket, they take money out of your pocket, and all of them will actually decrease your borrowing capacity. So when you go to buy assets, the bank will go, sorry, Jack, you've got a credit card, you've got a car loan, you've got a personal loan for a holiday. And because you've got all those things, we would have lent you $800,000 to go and buy a property. But because you've now got these liabilities against your name, we'll only lend you $300,000, which essentially means you potentially left $500,000 of borrowing capacity on the table because you went and got liabilities before you bought assets. And that $500,000 of borrowing capacity could be worth many, 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 many millions of dollars down the track. Because I bought the asset first as opposed to the liability, that asset then increased in value, and I could actually use the equity, which is the difference between the mortgage on the property and the value of the property, and then I could use that equity to go and pay for my liabilities. And because you aren't going to get a car loan and you aren't going to get a personal loan and you're not getting a credit card, but you're simply using equity from the property, it has a much lower impact on your borrowing capacity because the debt is actually secured against an asset being real estate, as opposed to getting debt, which is personal or credit cards or whatever it is, which actually has no security. It's unsecuritized, so you pay a significant interest rate on that. And the difference between asset-backed debt versus non-asset-backed debt is 6% or 6.5% for asset-backed debt versus 20% or 25% for something like a credit card, for example, which there's no asset backing it. So if you want to buy the liabilities, buy them with the assets as opposed to just going out there and buying them with your earned income. You will be significantly wealthier over time. And that's what's allowed me to scale my property portfolio from that one property back when I was 18 to now 15 properties at 28.